All right, we are live. It is Wednesday. Wednesday. Hope everybody's having a good week so far. We had a busy day. It was errand day. But we are ready to get some work done here. Now, I did get a little bit of work done on this guy yesterday. And look, you can really see the difference. See how crisp and just beautiful that looks, and this part of the end looks so much different than this part. Like this section almost looks washed out. That the black background really makes a difference with that stitched into there. Like even the husband noticed the difference, and he's like, "Oh yeah." He goes, "No, I see it now." He goes, "Yeah, that is." He thought I was crazy when I first said, "Oh, I'm gonna need to do this," and he's like, that's nuts." And I'm like, "Yeah, but it's gonna it needs the thing." Sorry, I'm trying to separate thread here at the second. 1, 2, 3. Yes? No. Wait, that is 2. So that is 3. And that is 3. So let me get this separated real quick here, because this one's being a little bit stubborn. I know we've worked on water a lot lately, so we're going to take a quick detour off the water. I know there's a lot of water on here. And instead of jumping to the next shade of water right away, I am going to work on this one seashell here. This guy, which I think is this thread that we used on this one. So I'm going to use the same one. And after I get this needle threaded, I'll show you what I was working on over the weekend, because I haven't been posting any work in progress photos of it. I've just been kind of plodding along with it. Okay. So, I'm getting closer to being done the Bob Ross inspired landscape pattern that I did from scratch. Sort of scratch. I used one of his painting tutorial finished pieces for inspiration. So, this is where we are at with that at the moment. It's a little out of focus because I've got it so close to the camera at the moment, but we are slowly getting there. The camera itself should be in focus here, I think. that's definitely blurry. We'll try that. You'll have to let me know if that looks blurry or not. I mean, it looks a little fuzzy where the black background hasn't been stitched in yet. So I think that's partially the way the light is reflecting off of everything, because I don't have a fully dull background yet. Okay, so now I need to be able to reach. Oh gosh, how do I want to do this? So I've been doing the black background stitching off of stream because it's been a little bit easier to work on that without worrying if I am in camera frame. So I haven't recorded work on that at all. That is just gonna magically show up. And I got a decent amount done for the amount of time that I worked on it the other day. So I am pretty happy with where I'm sitting with that. It's like I didn't have a whole lot of time put it on it the other day. I was doing a pretty good clip, and then something came up, and then I had to go do something. I don't know if we had to take the boy. Something happened, and we had to go deal with something. I don't remember what it was. Maybe it was the boy, and by the time we got back, I was just like, meh. I probably started this backwards. I probably needed to put the darker end through the needle first. This is a slightly variegated thread. Just because I have a seashell that is in my collection from our trip that kind of looks like this, where it's like kind of like white with some speckles of like this yellowy peachy kind of color. Not fully orange. I wouldn't quite go that far. You know, I had a feeling that that wasn't quite in the right spot. Didn't look quite right, but went with it anyway. We can have some slight imperfections. Imperfections? Something like that. On our pieces, because as I come back in with the background work, I can clean up anything where it's a little weird. So I actually did not really leave myself a whole lot of room there on that one. So I don't know that I'll be done that other piece this coming weekend. I probably won't, because I need to get some of our next game recorded. And in between that, I'm going to be trying to work on, I'm going to try to work on, words are hard. I'm going to try working on, there we go, Christmas gifts. I know it's super early. Dog? Leave him be. Going to try to start working on the Christmas gifts. They'll probably arrive in a week or so. And you're like, oh my god, Christmas gifts already. It's only June. Calm the F down. They take time to make when you're making them. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 5 to 6 that I'm going to be making. Possibly. Well, I don't know. Maybe 7. I have to find out. And that is going to take some time. Did not like the way that pulled through. Sorry, it's sort of like an awkward distance away from me. So I'm like, got it kind of in a weird position here. When it's in the middle, it's a little bit harder because I don't know which side is going to work out better to be on here. And I think to do potentially my brother's gift, I might need to get this one pack of thread that I saw. So I think that's the shades that I'm definitely going to need to make sure I've got plenty of. But fortunately, that is not that expensive, and I do not have to get it this month. I can wait until either next month or August to worry about it. But I will record what I can of those. I want to try to get this other one finished up and off of my stand to make recording easier. And I'm almost done. Working on that guy. Almost. We're closer to being done than not. Had the brief thought of trying to freehand everything this year, and I'm like, I'd rather do the kit. Maybe next year I can see about freehanding everything. Because that takes time, right? Because you got to figure out the pattern. And your colors. And I just didn't quite feel like I was there yet. To do all of that for like all of them. There's at least 3. Well, there's 2 to 3 that I am probably going to be attempting to freehand, and that's scary enough for this little muffin. So I'm like, I don't know. I don't know about this. And I don't want to give too many spoilers on that until I start working on it. Although I'm sure at least one of them is not going to be hard to figure out. Can't remember if I already said what they were going to be. They seem whole. No. Yes. Dang it. Let's not do that. So you might see a white spot on our canvas that was not there before, above my crab butt there. I'm not quite sure what happened. I had a t-shirt on that had a screen print, like vinyl decal lettering on it, and it's been washed a few times. So, and I can't remember if when I first got it, it was made to look old or if that's just happened from washing. But like the lettering on it is starting to crack a bit. Now, I had that shirt on when I was working on the background the other day, and I leaned forward over it, and when I sat back up, there was a white mark, and I was like, the heck is this? And I honestly thought, and was fighting with it for several minutes, that the lettering had flaked off my shirt and had stuck to the canvas. And I was like, what the frig? I was really mad. I'm like, how did this happen? And I kept looking down and checking my shirt. I'm like, I don't see a chunk missing. I'm like, this is absurd. And after a few minutes of scratching at it and fighting with it, I finally noticed there was black paint, damn it, stuck to my hand. And I was like, oh, okay. that white spot is not my lettering from my shirt stuck to it. That is the white of the canvas underneath the black paint. So no amount of scratching that is gonna fix that. So I was like, oh, okay, that happened. I mean, it's not like it matters all that much, right? Because we're gonna stitch over that spot anyway. And you're only gonna know that it's there if you've seen it before it was there. So, and before that section was stitched. I'm definitely gonna have to put more of this color on this needle. Because what we've got so far, not quite enough, but I didn't want to have my needle quite so overloaded. Oh. Oh. Alright. Let's see here. I mean, I've got plenty of this variegated stuff that I don't have a clue as to what I'm going to do with. It was part of a variety pack that I had gotten. And I'm still not sure what exactly I should do with all of it, because there is quite a large amount of it. That guy go right into there, and I know that this is going to look a little bit messy at this very moment on this shell. That is also the magic of the black stitching coming along after the fact, so that I can redefine the separation between the shapes. Like I did in here, I cleaned those guys up a bit. That looks really good now. And I'm just starting, like, so this section is done, this is done, and I'm kind of even with the top of the fish there. Like, I've got it just to right here. I was planning on going further down and starting to work my way back towards the letter, but life lifed, and then Like, I actually still had black thread on this needle. So I had planned on coming back to it. I guess after whatever had pulled me away in the first place, and then I don't know what happened. I just didn't get back to it. And I had thoughts of working on it this afternoon after we got back from doing what we were doing, and lifed again a little bit. And by the time we got groceries put away and had to help deal with something with the husband's mom, I don't know, I looked up and it was getting near dinner time, and I was like, oh. Like, well, I'll just scroll through YouTube then for right now, because I don't really have time to get too invested into something. So I don't want to get locked in on something that I have to walk away from in 15-20 minutes when it's gonna involve more, or gonna need more time than that. Where? Just kind of want to get another little piece popped into there. There's a piece of glitter on here, and I don't know where the glitter effing came from. I keep seeing it. It's over here somewhere. The light keeps catching it. Oh, there it is. Wait, are you glitter? Yeah. I think you're glitter. Yeah, because you moved. Maybe you're not glitter. Maybe you were a pokey hole. I don't know. I've lost sight of you now. Oh well. That will remain a mystery unless I find the glittery bit on me. Will I? Won't I? Nobody knows. I actually got kind of decently far. With this one bit of thread, although I will say this one section doesn't seem to be as variegated as that other one. But you know what? That's okay. It's not a real big problem. Just an observation, really. Uh-oh. I hear tappy toes. Why do I hear tappy toes? Hi. Welcome to the complaints department. How may I help you? What is your complaint this evening? Oh, what's that? Oh. Okay. You're looking for second snack rolls. Okay. I will put your complaint in. I will pass it along. Take a number and go sit down. Thank you.
Complaints department. What's that? Your tummy is not quite full enough? You need more chicken dinner? Alright, we can calm down, sir. We can resolve that. Calm down.
Sir, there's no need to yell. This dog is crazy. Alright. I do need to change how I am sitting though, because I've had to lean forward to reach this spot a little bit awkwardly. So back is getting kind of mad, so I'm gonna come over a little bit further than I really wanted to. Try to get my angle fixed here. So I'm using a Milner's needle. I don't know what number. It wasn't really, like, the packaging had a range of sizes, but I don't know specifically what number I grabbed. Sorry. I mean, it doesn't really matter, right? Just use whatever needle friend makes you happy. Although, for the canvas, I am going to suggest that you don't use a dull needle. You're gonna want somebody that's sharp to get through the thickness of the canvas. You better get over there and eat that dinner. Second dinner, too.
Hey, go. Eat your dinner.
Is she hungry or no?
Buddy. Eat your chicken dinner.
I request chimkin.
Come here. Do I have to guard it?
Is Bean sitting there?
Come here, Susan. Eat your dinner. Come on. Guard it.
Because sometimes Bean tries to get his dinner. I don't normally do like the full wraparounds all of the time. Sometimes I kind of need to. Sir, you did not just sass the crap out of me to then not eat. Because you're being pissy. Don't even know why you're being pissy. Oh, actually, I do have an idea of why he might be pissy. He only got one working place run today because we had to run errands this morning. So that might be part of it. There. Hello? Why are you... Oh no, what happened here? What? In tarnation. Oh dear. The heck? How? In... Well, that didn't really help matters. We had been doing so good with the tangles. Maybe almost too good. Ow, that's my finger. Okay, like, how did this... What? In the Sam Hill... Wait, did we get it? We might have gotten it. Okay. Still not entirely sure what happened there. That was crazy. Okay. Alright. Alright then. I guess feels like it's not quite in the right spot that I want it to be in. I'm not entirely sure what caused that. I'm not even sure entirely how I got it untangled, but seems as though we did. Is someone on your desk? Okay. So got that guy. I see that piece of glitter now. It did show back up. Okay. This guy. Man, we ran into quite the traffic when we were coming home. I was surprised I didn't see anything about it on the news. It looked like we thought there was a bad accident at first, because when we got on the interstate, because it cuts through the main big town in the area, kind of splits it, a third of it on one side and 2/4 of it on the other. When we got on that entrance number, there was a fire truck in the on the other side near the exit ramp, kind of sitting diagonal across a couple of lanes, and we were like, huh? But we couldn't see the cause for it, so we were like, okay, that's weird. Where do I want to go with you? Because I'm over here. This shape is kind of slightly awkward. And we thought it was weird, but we didn't think much of it. And when we came home and got to that exit ramp, actually, well before we got to the exit ramp, traffic started slowing way down. And we were like, are they still out here with the fire truck? Because it was backed up so far, you couldn't see what the problem was. Because, like, there are some curves, and it was just solid traffic. Tractor trailers, you know, all of the things. So we're like, how bad was this accident? And, they've got a little road construction zone speed tracker out there that flashes the speed up along the side of the road, because they want you to be aware of how fast you're going, except it's really hard to tell what cars it's catching. because of how it's angled and all that. So you never know who's actually doing what unless you look down at your own speed. And it was flashing like under 10 miles an hour for everyone that wasn't on the access road alongside of us. Like, it was flashing mostly 7 and 8, and we're like, it's gonna be a while. And when we finally got closer to the exit, we realized, okay, cool, we can get off, because we weren't sure if we were gonna have to go down another exit, which was gonna be a huge pain in the ass for how the roads are set up around here. That would have taken us kind of out into the sticks, and we were gonna have to way double back. And we're like, well, we don't really want to do that if we can help it. So that's gonna be trouble. And when we couldn't see what was going on until we got on the access or the exit ramp. There was some sort of like truck that kind of looks like a bunch of barrels laying on their side. I don't know what kind of truck it is. Some kind of liquid transport truck. It wasn't a gasoline tanker. Those are like solid body. This had like ridges in it. There was some kind of container on the ground that looked like it had a blue tarp inside of it. And there was some kind of liquid. What the hell was that? Sounded like it was right next to me. Maybe a paint bottle fell. That was weird. And there was like some kind of liquid pouring out of a valve on the bottom of this truck into this container. And we were like, oh. And there was a similar truck near it. So I don't know if it was somebody that, like, I don't know if it was a pair of them traveling together carrying the same liquid or what. But there was an additional fire truck and police out there, and I was just like, oh dear. Nobody had hazmat suits on, so we don't think it was anything too dangerous, but I don't know, maybe it was something flammable. I don't know. I was hoping to see what it was, but I didn't see anything on the news website when we got home, so I was like, huh. Weird. I'll have to check again later. So I'm gonna put the darker bit. Well, no. I'm gonna do this. Go the darker bit. No, I want the lighter end, right? I don't know that it matters, because we're not gonna get a whole lot of... No, I was right the first time. We're not gonna get a whole lot of variation out of this particular one. Okay. What was that?
Hmm.
Okay. Where is His Royal Highness the Chaos, or, yeah, the Chaos Goblin?
No idea.
Okay. So this guy, where are we? That's not so bad. That didn't take me too long to find this time. Sometimes I have a harder time getting back into the rhythm of where I was. Oh. I think I'm going to need to come up through that. Yeah. We got a little thick there. And that's Snuffles. Ma'am. Well, that answers the question of where Bean is right now. She does not like any of these cats lately. She's been very mean to all of them when they go to jump on the bed. And Mr. Bean just looks so confused. When he gets to his spot on the bed, he looks back at her and he's like, what? Because he didn't do anything to her. He just kind of bounced by her to get up onto the bed. She has been so crazy possessive over the bed. It's not just Bean either. It's not a Bean thing because she did it to Ed. And Ed thinks he's one of the dogs. I don't know that she's snapped at Cow. Has she?
I do not know.
I know she's done it to Ed and I know she's done it to Bean. She might have done it to Peabody too. But I'm not fully certain about that. Did he finally eat?
Yes. Well, kind of. He ended up eating all the fresh chicken because I forgot it was there, so I made his food out of the frozen chicken.
Oh. Was that why he was mad?
Yeah, I think so.
Because he knew fresh existed?
Uh-huh.
Picky bastard. Did you use the Ziploc or the bowl?
Oh.
Okay. I put some in a Ziploc. I was saving that for tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Well, I was going to try to save it for tomorrow. I mean, if you used it, then you used it.
I just used what I had in the bowl already.
I need to fill this guy in here. Now they're saying we have a chance of thunderstorms tomorrow, but it looks like it's going to be afternoon into very early evening, so like anywhere from like 2 p.m. to like maybe 6 as of right now. I mean, the model predictions around here have not exactly been stellar lately. I mean, I know they're doing the best they can, but there I go again. Back up through the wrong spot. At least I got a little bit of color varying in there. So, I mean, that's something. Okay. I just figured, you know, we could use a break from all of the blue just for a little bit. Figured we would get this shell done. And then maybe this starfish. Sea star. I don't know what we're calling them right now. Seem to be going back and forth about them for quite a while. One minute they were sea stars, the next minute they were back to starfish. Then it was back to sea star. I don't know what the heck. Their proper terminology is supposed to be. It was on a stencil. Like, it wasn't supposed to be any specific species. As far as I could tell, like it looked like just a standard 5-armed sea critter. We saw a couple of live ones when we were at Lover's Key State Park. And that was kind of cool. I'd never seen a live one out in the wild. I'd only really seen one in an aquarium, touch tank. And I think that one was like the orange variety. This one was purple. That was kind of cool. There was one or two of them that were kind of doing their thing. Oh, and I think I realized, or I've determined, that this piece right here is actually part of the fish because of the shape of it. So we're going to do whatever that is, the fish color. I didn't go hunting for the stencil. I've just, because of the shape, I've decided that is going to be part of the fish at this point. Because it kind of looks like it's supposed to be, and I don't remember. It's been a while since I've put the stencils on here. I know this back is a bit of a mess, but you know, I'm gonna put just the slightest bit of glue on the back to hold all the strings down, and I might take some felt and glue it to the back of the stretcher bars. Maybe. I don't know yet. I was originally thinking of putting it on the inside, on top of the threads, but I have to make sure I leave myself like little picture hangers or attach some picture hangers. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that just yet. I haven't figured that out yet. How about we do our sea star starfish in this cool little variegated orange guy. That looks like fun. Now I've probably pulled out way more than I should have. So I'll probably end up regretting that decision, but I did it that way to try to make sure we get some of the color varying through there. Man, these variegated ones are just like fighting me. Or it's just user incompetence. That is very much a possibility. Some of these were just splitting so beautifully the other day. All right. Now, if we can just get you into... No. All of you. Wait, why are you... You're being silly now. And I don't know why. There we go. I think I did this backwards. Yeah, it's gonna start out with the light color. Dang it. Keep forgetting I have to do that the reverse way. Oh well, it's fine. We're gonna have so many layers on here, I don't know it's gonna make that huge of a difference. Okay, so we have to figure out how exactly I'm gonna do this guy. That is the question. Is quite the extensive question. How are we going to do this? Oh, I got to see that that last known operating steam train engine the other day. Yesterday? Yeah, would have been yesterday. On a web camera. I had seen people make a big fuss about it before on some of the freight train rail camera spots that I pop into from time to time. They're like all excited about it. I didn't really understand what the big deal was. Until I started reading some more about it. And I was like, okay, that's kind of interesting. Um, I guess I'm not that full into train lore or history because I wasn't as excited as some of these other people were that were there watching it. Like, the train was literally there for like 10 minutes, maybe 15, so people could get some photos of it, and it blew its little whistle, and people were going oh so crazy over the train. I've got a little tiny knot there, but at this point I don't think it's worth fighting over it. And I saw apparently it's doing a tour across the country for the 250th anniversary. But you know, cool. But some people in the one video that I saw today when I was scrolling through YouTube were way too close to the train tracks. Like, I guess they were trying to get it as it was going by this one area, and I was like, oh my word, what are you doing? Not sure how I want to do this. I don't know if it would be better to keep going in one direction. I'm kind of late for birds to be chirping.
Still a tiny bit like that.
Okay. They were like right up on the track to get a headshot of this thing coming at them, and I'm like, people, what are you doing? I understand you're excited, but safety, please. I don't want to be a witness to something terrible happening during what was supposed to be a joyous event. Like, these town, like the areas where it was stopping, they like had red, white, and blue bunting up and banners, and the one place was so busy. They had cops out there like playing crossing guard because people kept trying to cross over the railroad tracks to get from one side to the other. And I was like, wow, this is chaos. And it was not, I had not seen photos of this thing beforehand. It was not what I was expecting. I am not entirely sure what I was expecting. I guess maybe like the standard train engines that I remember seeing growing up and like train sets and stuff. This was not that. This kind of just looked like a metal tree trunk of a cylinder. And honestly, it was kind of, I don't know, to me it was kind of ugly. Sorry. Um no offense or anything. I don't mean to upset anyone, but I just kind of was looking, I'm like, huh. I mean, it was kind of cool that it had its steam whistle and they were blowing that as much as they could get away with it as the steam built up. And people were like, oh, the horn. They're like, no, it's a whistle. And I was like, oh, okay. A lot of the train enthusiasts that were in the chats are like, it's not a horn, it's a whistle. And I'm like, okay, friends. Breathe. It's gonna be okay. And they were like trying to explain, no, the freight trains that you hear nowadays have horns. And I was like, they were like trying to explain the difference. And I was like, oh, wow. I mean, I get it. They're passionate about it. But at the same time, it was kind of, let's not get too angry. We can politely explain the difference to people that are not quite so down with all of the different things. It might have been a younger kid too. Like, I don't know. And school is out for the summer in some places, so I know it is here. I know some schools haven't gotten out quite just yet. I think when I was in school, we didn't get out until the middle of June. The middle to the towards the end of June, like somewhere between the 15-20s, somewhere in there, 25th, somewhere, something like that. Here, they got out in like early May. But down here, they also go back like the middle of August. Which is crazy to me. They like go back like 2 weeks before Labor Day, and then they have a 3-day, well, no, not a 3-day weekend, but then they're off. Yeah, they have a 3-day weekend. Then they get like Friday, Saturday, and Labor Day Monday. They don't go back until like the following Tuesday. I'm like, really? Why not just start after Labor Day? This is kind of silly. Because there's this big craft fair thing, parade, the Saturday of Labor Day weekend, and there's a square dance competition at this craft fair, and apparently a lot of the kids in the surrounding area and from this town are competing in it. And so they actually, I think they're off on that Tuesday too. Like they get the day off after competition day, because competition day, or at least they used to, Like the last night of competition was like Monday night, and some years there were so many teams it would go to like 11 o'clock at night. So then they would have school be out that Tuesday because of everybody that was participating in the square dance competition. And I'm like, or we could have just waited to start till. This is what I get for doing a longer string, because I thought there's that stupid snag from earlier that I just decided to let be because it didn't feel like it was too long. I'm gonna have to kind of come back at this from a slightly different angle. So that I can get. Hello? Why are you being silly? Why are you being silly? I do not know. But you're definitely being some sort of way right now. Then I'm going to kind of come back over. See about getting this guy. Oh, got stuck on my finger. That's not what I was hoping for. Not exactly. So let's see. That guy there. Okay. Hmm. So now, hello Tommy, how are you? Take this one up this way. Kind of come down through here. see if we can try to get the rest of the body on this thing filled in. I'm alright. Body's a little angry at the moment, but honestly, for me, it's an all the time thing. This area, I seem to have very bad pollen allergies to. And for the past, like, since late last night, I was coughing. Couldn't figure out why. And then we headed out to the store to run our errands today, and lo and behold, we saw freshly cut hay fields. Don't know if they did it early this morning or if they did it last night. It kind of looked like it probably happened yesterday. And that it was drying out. I'm like, oh. Right. That probably explains that. At least to a small degree. I can't even touch the Timothy grass for the guinea pigs without my hands just starting to itch like mad crazy. So I have to put gloves on my hands. When I have to clean the cage or if I have to give them their hay for whatever reason. Nobody else was available to do it. We kind of became aware of that with the last round of guinea pigs we had. So we had taken a break from guinea pigs. But my mom really wanted a puppy or a kitten, and we're like, well, how about some guinea pigs? Because that was before we got Mr. Bean, and we weren't really planning on getting another Mr. Bean before we attempted to move out of the area. Joke's on us. Because we now have a Mr. Bean. How do I want to handle this? I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. But hopefully you are doing okay. And we are just going to try to slowly figure this out. While it keeps trying to... What the heck? Not like crazy. Really? That is such a little itty bitty. Oh, you gotta be joking. Seriously? How on earth am I... Oh no. Um, well, that's a something. Dang. I think I had gotten in there. Come on. Wow. This is crazy. This is one of the worst ones I've had. This is like almost screw it level of brute forcing it is not working. Arrgh. Why? Okay, that was not the right knot. This is ridiculous. You're such a tiny little bit, and you're right there. You're right there on the end of my string. Why? Ugh. This is super. Uh-oh. I mean, if I snap it, that's not really gonna get me anywhere either. It's right there. Come on, you bastard. How did you even manage this? Oh my god. Oh, shit. I almost bent the needle. I think I did bend the needle. The amount of string that you are holding on to is just like absolutely wild, friend. Can you like give it up? I don't want to cut you because I don't know what's gonna happen if I do. But I don't think I have a choice. Oh my god. What is happening? This bit of string is just like, no, I'm out. Oh, father. Okay. We're gonna have to do it. I mean, that one was kind of trouble from the beginning. To a degree. That makes me mad. I really wanted to get that untangled. So we got the Christmas gifts all ordered. or the kits to make the gifts, rather. Alright, I'm just gonna do 2 loops. Right, there's gonna be more layering happening there in a minute, so that should be fine. And of course now this one wants to be difficult. I actually went past the fairgrounds today and there was a whole bunch of people and things going on, and we're like, what the heck, it's a Wednesday. It's like some kind of craft fair. Like I could see like little tents set up. And I'm like, my husband's like, in the middle of the week? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. And then we got into Sam's Club and there was all kinds of decorations and balloons that said, welcome shareholders. And I was like, oh. I honestly thought we already had shareholders week happen. Oh, look. You can see it. Can you see it? Yeah, you can kind of see it on camera. Mr. Bean bit me. He was playing. I picked him up because he was starting to cause trouble on top of the guinea pig cage. So I picked him up to relocate him, and he got mad. And the way I was holding him, he managed to bunny feet part of my hand. And then he was reaching over and like biting my arm at the same time. I'm like, dude, what the heck? Mr. Cat. You need some chill. Freaking vampire. Look, there's that piece of glitter again. This guy. And where do I want to put you? Maybe about there-ish. I know, I keep wiggling it all around. But, when the stringy bits are a little bit longer and you're trying to keep it from tangling, gotta do what you gotta do, right? Okay. So it's gonna look a little silly. As we're getting all the bits of them covered up here and filled in. hopefully we can get it to resemble something like a star. As we go along. Sometimes that seems to be a little bit easier said than done. Nope, 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 don't do that. Alright, so looks like my string is a little off, so I need to try to fix that here. Let's try to straighten that out a bit. Alright. Nope, that's not what I had wanted you to do. Okay. Alright, so I need to get just a little bit more kind of popped in over that section. Doesn't have to be like a tremendous amount. I do need to change how I am sitting though. Change position. Or just stand up and stretch. That works too. Stretch break. Just reset the leggies. Okay. Reset the leggies, the hippies, all that. Okay. I've got so much thread built up here. Kind of wild. Not sure how I want to proceed with this guy. So right now he just kind of looks like quite the mess. So I wasn't entirely certain how I wanted to approach covering him. Or everything was gonna cover. So let's see. Did she get your attention?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And we've got this guy here who's gonna be a bit of a brat about it. Okay, well, what we're not doing is that. So let's get everybody sorted here as best as we can. I just said we're not doing that nonsense. Did I not? Were you not listening? I was listening. It chose chaos. Instead of reason. Fred, do you happen to, by any chance, know a Mr. Bean? I feel like you two would be just great friends at this point. I must say. You can go there. Why are you being such a little pain in the ass right now? Is my tail too long? Like, okay, so we'll get this bit here. And then this guy. Need to figure out how we need to get him covered up. Like, it's probably gonna look all sorts of bizarre with the way I've got stitching over the top. about to be real mad there for a second. I was like, what did you do? Okay, like, I want you to come up here. It didn't look like there was glue in the way there. So I'm confused as to why you have other opinions about that. That didn't sound good. It just didn't sound good at all. Okay. And up we go. And back down. Kind of get over to the side there just a little bit. Right now it doesn't really look anything like a starfish. Maybe I should have just went with a solid color on this one. I mean, it's a little late now. For sure, but what can one do? Tomorrow we're going to be starting a new needle felting project. We're going to kind of do it similar way that we did the last one with that larger board, as the backing. And then putting the little framey do on the guy. Part of me like just kind of wants to bring that up and around. I'd love to know where this piece of glitter came from. I probably never will. And now I don't see it. So it must have bounced somewhere. Alright, so next time I'm gonna do another starfish. Alright, I was like, starfish, probably not the best idea. Because these are just kind of looking messy no matter what I'm doing. Which is mildly frustrating. But only mildly. Okay. Oh, let's not stab myself. That would not be cool. Plus, it hurts a lot. And we don't want that. Because that is not a good time. Not at all. Alright. So, get done with this guy. And I'm really not happy with this particular shape at all. It kind of looks mummified. It's a zombie. No, mummy. A zombie mummy? A mummy zombie. One of those. I'm not sure which. Hi, welcome to the complaints department. You are going to have to leave a message. The complaints department is closed for the evening. We call me the complaints department whenever the dog goes mad. Buddy, we're not going to bed yet.
You've still got food.
We're not going to bed yet, and the last time I checked your bowl, you still had water. The other night, I think he was giving me all kinds of sass because I was still up. Sir and or madam, that vehicle is or bike is not sounding any better than the last time you went by. In fact, it is sounding a lot worse. Let's try doing it that way. Even look anything remotely like a star because it kind of doesn't. And I'm thinking I'm gonna have to redo this in a solid color. Maybe it's the variegating that I'm just not liking. That might be what it is. I was like, oh, let's give it a shot. No. I don't think it's working. That might be why I'm also not feeling this one. Okay, I think before we go any deeper in the woods on it, I am going to unless he wants to go potty outside. That could be the only other thing that he could possibly have to complain about right now. Ugh. Just slammed my knee into my desk again. At least it wasn't with as much force as it was the last time I did that. I never did get a bruise show up on my skin the last time I did that, which was really surprising for how hard I rammed it on in there. I really half expected that was not going to be a fun time at all for me. I still have a scar on my other knee from when I fell. Like a year ago? 2 years ago? Maybe a year ago. I rolled my ankle off the edge of a walking path at the one park we were at with the dogs. Slammed my knee into the ground when I was trying to catch myself. That was awful. Alright, so do I want to do... little appendages, fingers first. Fingers, knees, and toes. Okay. Let's see how I feel about this. Like, we're allowed to experiment with stuff. And that experiment with the variegated orange, I can firmly say, not the best. But I gave it a shot, right? Like, what else was I gonna do with that color? Like, it works for the turtle shell, and it works for the seashells. But for the starfish, didn't quite hit the mark. Probably because I had to keep layering it up so many times to fully fill it in. This. Slowly work through. As best as we can. Now, I can tell this particular shade is a DMC color because it feels very smooth in my hand. It just has that specific texture that DMC tends to have. Get this guy. So the grand question is, how do I want to proceed? And I'm not entirely sure. Let's see. That guy, I'm just not happy with how he decided to sit down on in there. And now you are just going to be a bratty bit, aren't you? Probably. So I'm gonna see if I can try to make this work where we kind of just go in the one direction. And then kind of figure out the little army details later. Maybe. I don't know how this is gonna look. So, fair warning about that. So we'll get that kind of into there. Perhaps. Like maybe it won't be so bad coming back in. Or could just try to get it filled in there now. And not really worry about having to come back in. Come on. Why are you being so ridiculous about that one particular spot? I guess it just wants to be difficult there. I am going to need to rethread this shortly here. maybe a couple more passes, but not very many. All right. What do we think? Maybe one more after this? Maybe. We got a decent distance with that. Yeah, I think the solid color is working a bit better. I could have tried to get one more in there, but I already have the other half of this thread separated out. And what was left was not going to get us very far. So let's snippy that. And totally fail at getting an even set of ends there. Oh, wow. No, no, no. Ah. I almost had all three of them in there together. Almost. Okay. So, since we managed to get as far as we did with that other piece, I'm hoping that this last bit should carry us. The rest of the way through here. All right. So let's try to pick back up. Now this could be a little bit tricky. For where we're at on this one. Just because of the shape that we've got to work with here. Now the outside of the shape I can kind of clean up a little bit with the black thread when we come and get this section. I'm gonna try to backtrack just a little bit. If at all possible. Where are we? Okay. So this guy, try to pull you in this direction. If at all possible. Sometimes it works out better than others. We're just gonna have to go for it here and hope for the best. And the very edges, like I said, shouldn't be too much of an issue. I will say my friend here doesn't look very much like a star. Well, we've learned some things for the next one. Oh, I've got 2 more of these. Dang, I thought I only had 1 more. Of our starfishy friends. Or our sea star friends. Feel like maybe I need 1 more little bit in here. So it feels like there's a slight odd shape there. Okay. And back to our last little appendage guy. Well, I think if anything, he does look a little bit better. A solid color. I think the other ones work with the variegated because of what they are. And they've kind of got like segments to them. And it's not one solid piece of a shape. So it's got the little like, spacey bits in between. get that one in there. Okay, that's probably as good as that shape is going to get. And all of its extra puffy glory with all of the extra layers of thread on there. I'm not going to do that to the other one. We're just going to straight up start with the orange next time. Okay. Well, let's see. I do believe it is time for more water. It's back in its box. I don't have it pulled out into this project's working section of the box because that color's not like a key player in this. So it's fine. Alright, so we need this medium blue guy here. Okay, I don't need to go too crazy on the length on this one. That is 3, 8, 3. No, don't be tangling. That's just rude. Okay. See, sometimes it's super easy to get the thread through this needle without the threader. Not all of it fights me. Promise. Alright. Okay, so where do we want to start? Alright. Kind of wish I was a little bit closer, but I don't feel like flipping it upside down right now. Whoop. I was gonna say that didn't feel quite right. Kind of like hit an abrupt stop point instead of a more... Oh, I'm out of thread stop point. Like... It's kind of hard to explain. Like when I'm pulling this through, it's more of a, hey, you're just about out. Oh, that's all the length you've got. And that last one was like a whiplashy kind of pull where it just stopped. I guess it got a teeny tiny tangle. Or tried to do a teeny tiny tangle. Okay. So I figure we'll get this guy. And then we'll start to work our way down. On this side of the eye. What the heck? Sorry, for some reason my headphones were not cooperating. The way I thought they should be. Now, I did not do any work in Planet Zoo this weekend. I was busy. So very busy. We had house chores that needed to be caught back up on. And I was busy working on my embroidery when I wasn't doing other stuff. Plus, it was super hot. So this coming weekend, weather permitting, right? Because if the sky's being a little crazy, a certain four-legged friend gets a little crazy. So, providing he allows me to, I am going to start recording some bookshop simulator for the channel, because my little known Galaxy episodes are winding down. I know I said before I was going to do bookbound, but we're switching it to bookshop simulator. My brain was not happy with the movement options in bookbound, and my brain was very happy with bookshop simulator, so I think we'll go with that one. Besides, I was starting to get a slight headache when I was trying to give it a test run, and I don't know if it was because of the art style or I was feeling overwhelmed. I'm not sure which. Because some games, if they're too pixely, will start to give me a headache. Like, I used to be able to play Stardew Valley all the time, and sometimes I have trouble with it. I'd kind of like to get back into it because I believe they've added quite a bit more since the last time we have played that. Now, they have not put the kids aging up yet into Coral Island. So I was kind of waiting to go back into that until they did. I was trying to do a no commentary playthrough on it. And my brain's just like, oh my god, the amount of work I'm going to have to do to catch all of the critters and all of the fish and all of the things. And my brain was just like, ugh. I got so tired just contemplating it that I'm like, I'll come back to you. No, I thought that pulled up short. Don't know why. That was a little weird. Okay. So we will hop over to this guy. And I am doing 3 strand of a 6 strand. Set of thread here. Stop that. There I go again. Coming in through the outdoor. Because apparently that's how we roll around here. Or I just have a special talent for it. I promise I'm not trying to come back up through the same hole. I'm just trying to get close to it. But nope. More often than not, or at least a fair amount of the time, I am coming right back up where I just took it down. Which, while mildly amusing the first couple of times one does that, it starts to get annoying real quick. At least for me. So, what's everybody got planned for this weekend? Anything, nothing? Anything fun coming up? Alright, let's see. Close without in the wrong spot. Like, I do it, it's not only this canvas that I do that to, I also do it on the, when I'm doing the embroidery kits and, any other embroidery I'm doing. It's not just exclusive to it being the harder to see where I'm at canvas here. As much as, see, as much as I would like to blame it on that, I kind of can't. This is 100% a me issue, it seems. Alright, so then we've got this piece. And I'm probably gonna have to, well, yeah, I might have to rethread this before I finish this particular sheet. Potentially. I mean, it could surprise me. Sometimes I've gotten far more mileage than I expected. Out of a set of thread. Although this one, I don't know. I mean, what, we got two solid shapes there. Dang it. I mean, just because I had to go over that one a couple of times to fill it in. Definitely not going to make it. This one's a little bit wide too. So it's going to use up a little bit more thread. It's gonna be close. Oh, that's way over there though. That's a little too crazy pants there. Could you like let that one stay there and stop trying to kick them out of their seat? Wanted that seat. Then you should have paid for that seat. Okay. This guy. Oh gosh, are we gonna be just short on this piece? Oh, that is gonna suck. We were almost there. yeah, I'm not gonna force that any further. That's only gonna end in heartbreak. And we'll do a snippy snip. Okay. Let's see here. Two, three. All right. So we will pick up where we left off here. There goes Zuzemeister. Don't know where he's going off to. Just trying to get that spot that looked like it was loose. Oh, really? Why? There we go. It's gonna say, come on now. My string has just been acting up tonight. Like crazy. Thought I secured the end of that pretty good, but that one piece there was looking a little loose. Okay. Don't be trying your not nonsense. I saw that. I've about had enough of that for one evening. My goodness. You don't have to be quite so feisty. Speaking of feisty, I'm kind of surprised a certain Chaos Void hasn't jumped up in the middle of all of this yet. I haven't seen him in a while. He could be asleep on the bed, but I'm not certain. It's possible. Okay, so we'll get... No, no, no. We'll get this one finished here. And then we'll start to move south of the seashell. Gotta figure out which direction we want to jump to. Do we want to go right under the shell and get those three going into the starfish and then work our way back up? Kind of like ba-doop, 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 ba-doop. That might work out fairly well. Perhaps. Maybe. Maybe, maybe. Can't wait to get more of this background stitched in. I can try to get all of that caught up to where we're currently at. If it's icky weather and I'm not trusting recording anything, then I will more than likely work on the background of this guy. Since that, I'm not recording. Mr. Dog, I'm not going to bed yet. The complaints department is closed for the evening. We're on break. No. You gotta wait till I'm done. No. Did you even go back and finish your bowl? Is Snuffle Fluff hungry yet? Mr. Dog. He's standing next to me licking his lips. Loudly. And doing this little tiny baby grr. The husband's alarm went off this morning for his medication. And the old man, like, either flubbed his attempt at getting on the bed or decided to face dive me because Dad's alarm went off, so I should be getting up because he wanted to go places and do the things, and he knows he can't do that until I get up. But the joke was on him this morning because we had to go do errands. He did get to go in the afternoon before we made dinner. But he only got to go one time today. Because by the time we got back from doing errands and got settled, and we looked at the time and we're like, so there's going to be like a 2-hour difference. And husband's like, yeah, no. But then Snuffles had an upset tummy. She seems to have bouts of that. Always has since she got passed along. We don't know if it's anxiety or what. We haven't been able to figure out what could possibly be causing it. It might be multiple things causing it, because we disrupted the routine this morning by going food shopping and doing other errands instead of doing the working place. And we don't know if it was the routine being disturbed that caused this today, or if it was anxiety over the fact that the human she has now attached herself to was not here all day. She could have gotten into cat food while we were gone, because the cats like to knock it off the chair that we feed them on top of. I have no idea. She could have just been hungry. She had some crunchies down, so there was something for them. So I don't really know. Okay. Where are we? Okay, there we are. Wasn't entirely sure. It's like I'm stabbing, but I'm not seeing where I'm stabbing, so that's never helpful. But not really. I mean, we need to see where we're supposed to be trying to bring this next. And a lot of this feels the same underneath after a bit. The landscape starts to definitely all feel the same, except for where we haven't been yet. Not really a matter of, oh, well, just feel around with your finger. I mean, that only works so far. it's easier with like the embroidery cloth, or if you're just working with a thinner fabric, because then you can really see the needles location a lot better as you're dragging it along the back. My hand feels, oh, no, I don't think my hand's anywhere near that. I think I'm just nervous after the last time I stabbed myself. Dang it. For some reason, the side of my thumb very much felt like it was in the way. So we'll get this guy. Nope. That guy's got other ideas. Well, fine then. We'll get you this way. If you're not going to cooperate in that direction, I'll just come back in this direction. Zuzu, what's the matter? My guy? You keep thumping around on the floor back there. Oh boy, we've got a surprise for him tomorrow. Well, I don't know if it's tomorrow. No, we're making pizza tomorrow, so probably Friday. If it's thawed out to cook. Alright. This guy. And this guy. We've got to get Susie's nails. He's extra tappy tappy. He's so hard to get his nails on. He gets so upset over them. He likes to jerk his foot away. Right at like the last second. Which is especially troublesome. Oh, that piece is trying to peel up off of that bit of glue too. Fascinating. Just feel like my hand is too close. I don't think I'm anywhere near it. But I'm already sporting a bruise from the cat, so that's enough for one day. We have to remember we need to feed the newer outside cat. Our neighbors kind of fully adopted them, and they've been in our house a couple of times. Accidentally on purpose, I guess. I am going to tie that one off because it's getting a little short. Can't get that on one-handed, but let's see. Actually, I think we're at a good stopping point for right now. I would have liked to have gotten a little bit more done today, but that star kind of took up some time fussing with that one. So, next time when we pick back up, we'll get these medium blue bits in here. And then I think that's going to be blue, or this medium blue, that one, and that one. Maybe. Or no, maybe just those two. And I need to finish filling that in with its dark blue. We need to do this corally guy. And then dark blue, dark blue. Need to figure out what little bits in here are going to be dark blue. And we still have to put the eye in. But we're getting there. So my goal over the next few days is try to get some more of this background done over here. And to at least try to get caught up as much as I can. But we'll see. We'll see how all of that ends up going. Don't forget tomorrow we will be back and we will be doing that new needle felting project. Weather and migraine permitting, but that is the plan, so make sure you're following on Blue Sky because I will post there if I have to cancel. And sometimes scream into the void, you know, whatever one needs to do. So, I hope you all have a... Whew, get tired. Hope you all have a lovely day tomorrow. And until next time.